Okay, here's why you don't mess with Mother Nature. I literally just drove through this wash 30 seconds ago. And I got up about 100 yards and I looked off to the side and look at what has happened. Flash flood. All right, you hear that sound down here? This isn't my stomach after a Mexican food meal. This is a flash flood. It's a river, and this was a dry wash just a minute ago. I crossed down here about a minute ago, and seconds after I got over onto the safe part of the bank on the other side, I heard a rumbling and a flash flood came roaring down through this canyon. This is why we don't mess with Mother Nature ever. I knew going in that this was a possibility, but I'm experienced. I've been here many times, and I knew if I just got to the other bank real quick, I'm fine, I can wait it out. Another hour or two, this will dry back up again. But had I not been experienced in this area and not known that, I could have easily been trapped, or worse, been stuck in this flash flood, washed downstream, hurt badly, or killed. This is how people die. So really crazy and a perfect example. What's surreal to me is that as I was crossing in the Land Rover across that dry wash, what I didn't know was that literally seconds upwash from me, a wall of water was crashing down and coming my direction. How insane is that? Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go get some shots of this to show you. So now I'm watching and I'm listening. These thunderheads are all around me, and behind me, this direction, they are extraordinarily thick and very dark, unlike these ones, and so they're going to hit me any second. So as I hike up the mountain here, I'm going to be extremely cautious, and I'm going to be listening, and I'm going to be watching very closely so that when one does converge, a cell hits me, I want to know that I've got an old mine shaft I can duck into or some sort of cover to keep me and my lightning rod of a tripod out of harm's way of lightning. Alright, I wasn't kidding when I say I spend a lot of time in caves and in earth dwellings waiting out thunderstorms. I'm in an old uranium miner's cabin. It's raining like crazy outside. It's a little wet in here, but not too bad. And that thunderstorm's right overhead. So, just another day hiding in a confined space, waiting for a thunderstorm to clear. I'm going to move forward a little. My back is getting nailed. It's exposed back here, as you can see. That's not a sound effect. It's right over the top. So, I wouldn't mind it so much, except that these tripods, I don't know how much of a lightning rod they really are. That probably warrants a little research, but I'm guessing that walking around with the tripod in your hand in a thunderstorm's a little like walking around with golf clubs, and golfers do get hit every once in a while, so figure better safe than sorry. The upside to this is that once this all clears, the ground's going to be wet, there's going to be sheen, it's going to be beautiful. Back in the day when I used to shoot a lot of commercials for television, we would do wet downs, wet down the roof of a house, wet down the sidewalks, make it look glossy and shiny. Well, Mother Nature's given us a big wet down right now, so the landscapes are going to look just stunning once this clears. So I spent about 2 hours in that cabin, and because I had to stand there so long waiting for the rain and the thunder and lightning to go, I lost the time I needed to trek up to the top of that mountain where there are some really, really cool old uranium mine sites. I'm not going to make it. If I left now, I'd get there right about sunset, which would give me barely enough time to do anything. I'd be very rushed, and then I'd basically be hiking down in the dark, and which is fine, but it's been raining like crazy, as you know, and it's really washed out up here, really dicey conditions, and I just don't want to be slogging my way down the mountain in the dark under those circumstances. So I'm going to scoot down the road, find another location. I've still got about 2.5 hours of sunlight, and see if we can come up with something else new here. So here we are, the sun has dropped. After I left the old cabin, I shot off to an old corral that I know of that's out in this flat spot outside of the reef, and found spectacular light. Storms were rolling across the plains, and I'm quite confident that I got at least one great shot there. I know I've got one down by the cabin, and then the sky exploded as the sun dropped, and the sky, just the clouds turned to fiery red colors and yellows and purples and blues, and just marvelous. So it turned out great, despite the fact that I had to spend a couple of hours, hoveled up inside of that cabin as the storm blew through. Didn't make any difference. Stuck to it, and I'm quite confident I've got 2, maybe 3 great shots out of this day. So time to jump in the rover and head home.